and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. I hope you're all very, very well. Today's video is a video whereby I'm talking about my reading and channel resolutions for 2021. So I make this video every year, and I sort of do a sort of midway through the month, midway through the year check-in where I look at my resolutions. The weird thing is, I've just realised I never sum it up at the end of the year. I always just sort of ignore it at the end of the year. That's weird. Maybe this year will be the first year that I actually film a video where I talk about my reading resolutions, whether or not I've completed them or anything. Yeah, maybe this year will be the first year I do that. So I've got 9 in total, although last night I was sat on the sofa reading and I thought, oh yeah, that's another reading resolution I want to make, I want to do. I'll go and write it in my little book. And I thought, no, don't worry about that, Lauren. You'll definitely remember. I've forgotten. So I don't know what that last reading resolution was, but I've forgotten it. But yeah, I've split it into reading resolutions and channel resolutions. We'll start with the reading resolutions. And number 1 is the same resolution that I had last year, in that I'm not going to set a target for the amount of books that I would like to read in 2021. Last year was the first year I didn't set a target for myself, and I read more books than I've ever read before. I read 177 books last year. Yeah, normally I set myself a target, and yeah, I didn't last year, and I'm going to do exactly the same this year for much for the same reasons. I read loads and I didn't need a target. I didn't need a target. Number 2 is that I'm taking part in the Reading Women challenge. I talked about this in my January TBR, and as I said in my January TBR, Mercedes and I are hopefully going to be filming. She says this, I still haven't spoken to Mercedes about it. Mercedes and I, no, we've decided we're going to do it, but we haven't made any plans of when it will be. But Mercedes and I are going to do a video, a live stream, either on my channel or Mercedes' channel, where we're talking about the prompts and the books that we're planning on reading for the Reading Women challenge. This is a challenge that goes on every year, and I've always looked at it from afar and thought, oh, what wonderful prompts. This year I'm taking part, so it's 24 different prompts of all sorts of things, and I'll go into more details on the video, but like books that are an author from Eastern Europe, a crime or a thriller, a crime novel or a thriller in translation, I'm just picking anything here, a book set in a rural city, about a woman in politics, and a whole host of prompts to get you reading women. I read a lot of women anyway, but reading diversely as well, and I just think the prompts are amazing this year, and Mercedes and I were both really pumped about it. So we're going to do a video where we talk about what books we're going to be reading, and as I said, that'll be a live stream video either on my channel or Mercedes. When we know, we'll let you know, but we did say we'd do it in the first week of January, so it will be happening at some point. I wonder if it's happened by now. No, I don't think we're that organised. It won't have happened by now. Number 3 is that I want to use the Libby app more, which is definitely something I've been doing in 2020. But the Libby app, so I think a lot of libraries use this, but it's an app whereby I can access it on both my phone and my e-reader, and I can get books out there and read them, as in like Kindle books, or listen to audiobooks on it. And I started using it in 2020 when the libraries closed due to the pandemic, and I've been sort of using it on and off throughout the year. Towards the end of the year I didn't really use it, but this year, and I know we're only, well, it's day 2, but I'm listening to 2 audiobooks on it and reading a book on it, and I just want to use it a lot more. I've definitely been using it more just to link back into the Reading Women challenge. So like, as I've been finding books that I want to read for the prompts for that challenge, putting reservations on my e-reader, you can make like tags and stuff. It's just very, very good, and I don't mind the wait, because quite a lot of like more recent stuff has quite long waits on it, but it's quite good because it counts down, and it tells you how many weeks you've got left, or if you're going to be getting it in the next few days and things like that. And I just think it's a really good app, and I'm definitely going to be using it a lot more, particularly as the libraries are still closed at the moment. So yeah, we'll be using it more, and yeah, that's another resolution. Number 4 is about logging my reading. So I log my reading in 3 different ways last year, and it's good. So the first way is Goodreads, which I've used even before BookTube, to like set myself challenges, which obviously I won't be doing this year, and to log my reading on there. I don't really use it apart from to log my reading. Like, I don't really use it. So I'm going to be switching to Storygraph this year, and I need to do that. Maybe I'll do that after I film this video, to log my reading on Storygraph instead of Goodreads this year. I haven't set myself the challenge, even like last year when I didn't set myself a number, I just set myself 1 book to read. But yeah, so I haven't done that. So yeah, I'm gonna change it up to the story graph. That's the first thing. Second thing is that I do Instagram reviews on my Instagram stories. So every single book that I read, I review on Instagram stories. And last year I was setting it up into like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. But this time I'm gonna set it up into months because I feel like that'll be easier for me to maybe navigate back, because I do look back on it when I'm doing my wrap-ups and stuff. It's a good prompt. But yeah, that's where I review. If you're looking for like up-to-date reviews of what I've been reading, then Instagram is where I do that. And I'm going to continue to do that this year. The only difference is going to be is that on my highlights, it's going to be set into months rather than part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Yeah. And then thirdly, this year I'm going to be using, I've got a really fun little notebook here that I got from Typo. I bought myself for it, saying support your girl gang, and this is going to be my sort of reading journal and booktube notes and things like that. And I've already started with it, so I'm gonna, like, every month I'm gonna write down my TBR, and then I'm gonna log my reading and like do a little paragraph and maybe some things that I haven't been able to get into my Instagram reviews and stuff like that, so that when I'm reviewing books at the end of the month, I've got a bit more of detail about it. Because sometimes, like, particularly if they're like 2 or 3-star books and I've read a lot that month, it's hard to then remember what happened in that book. So yeah, this will be really helpful. And yeah, I just feel like, I mean, I love writing things down, and I've tried bullet journaling a few times, and I think the bestest thing for me is a thin line notebook that I can have a lovely time with, and I'm going to be having a lovely time. So I've already made loads of notes about the Reading Women Challenge. As I said, I've done my January TBR, and it'll be good to have my TBR written down as well, so that I can sort of look back and think, oh yeah, you did plan on reading that last year and you didn't. Although look, I've already read one of my TBR already, highlighted it green. So yeah, so this is new to me, and I've even made notes in here about this very here video. So yeah, I think this is going to be very valuable throughout the year, and if it works very well, then this will be something that I do ongoing. Will I fill this book up this year? Who knows, maybe. And then my last thing in terms of my reading resolutions is that I'd like to do longer reading stints. I've just remembered what the other thing was. Yes. So right, let me talk about that first before I talk about my longer reading stints, in case I forget it. So the other thing was that I'd like to be able to read when there's background noise going on. So previously, when I was a child, I could read like when my mum and dad had the telly on. When I used to go on holiday, they used to be listening to the radio and I'd be reading, and I could always like just pick up a book anytime. And as years have gone by, I just find I really need like silence or very little background noise in order to be able to read. So much so that if I'm on a train and there's like people talking, well, there's no like, I just can't read. So what I would like to build myself up to be able to do is be able to read when there's a bit of background noise going on, because even when I'm at work and if I'm sat at my desk, like, I struggle to read if like somebody else is talking in another room or something like that. So I need to train myself up and be able to do that. So yeah, so I'm going to do that by maybe listening to a bit of like music that hasn't got lyrics in it. I've heard of a few playlists that people listen to, so I'm going to maybe start with that, and then maybe like, yeah, just build up, I think, build up so that I'm able to like read. I do read at my desk at work when it's lunchtime, but ordinarily, like, it's not like dedicated reading. But yeah, I'd like to be able to read when there's a little bit more than just silence going on, or an ASMR room and things that haven't got lyrics in. So yeah, that's what I'd like to be able to do. And then the last one, oh God, I'm so proud of myself for remembering that. The last one is that I'd like to be able to read in longer reading stints. So I always sort of pride myself in the fact that I can pick up a book anywhere. So as I said, reading at work, I get about 20 minutes lunch break at work. So ordinarily I'd read my book. If David's getting petrol in the car and I've got a book in the car, I'll read for like however long it takes him to get petrol, be it like 2 minutes or 5 minutes if he's got a queue. I'll read like when I'm in the bath for about 15-20 minutes. But I'd really like to dedicate myself. A lot of my reading isn't done in big long stints, and I've just had quite a lot of time off over Christmas. Not quite a lot of time, but like a week and a bit off over Christmas. And during that time, and also throughout this year really, there's been a few occasions where I've been able to sort of like sit and read for an hour or 2 hours. And even when I'm doing Cosy Reading Night, which is a 3-hour sort of readathon, I'm still like checking my phone, doing this. So I'd really like to, and I think this probably links in with like being able to concentrate on reading whilst there's background music or background stuff going on. Yeah, I'd like to be able to read. I'd like to dedicate some more time to reading in longer periods of time, because I probably read about 2 hours a day, but it's split up into a lunch break when I get home from work, in the bath, before I go to bed, if David's playing his computer game and he's got noise plugged into his headphones. So like, yeah, I'd like to maybe get in and just sit and read for an hour, which would be lovely. So yeah, so that's another thing. So those are my reading resolutions. I wonder if I'm here at the end, this is me rewatching this video to sum this up at the end of the year. Go you, this is the first year you've done it. So yeah, and now we're going to talk about my channel resolutions. So I've got 4 channel resolutions. So something that I'm going to change up that I didn't do last year is that I'm going to have a schedule this year. So last year when I didn't set myself a Goodreads target, I also didn't set myself a schedule for the year. Previously I'd uploaded like, I think my first year in BookTube I did a video a week, then I did 2 videos a week for the next year, and then built it up and built it up and built it up. But last year I said, oh, I'm just going to upload as I feel like, and it doesn't work for me. Like, it was getting to the point where there'd be like a video back to back every 4 days, and then nothing for a week. So I'm going to go back to my original schedule, which I did in 2019, which is Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays. Like, and that's already been happening. This is going to be the 3rd video that's going up, so it should be going up on a Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. So yeah, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to assess that in February. So this is number 2, is that I'm going to take February off. I always, for the past 2 or maybe 3 years, I've taken February off of making videos, which has been very good because I'm always a bit knackered after Vlogmas, which is a video basically every day in December. And then January is a really good month for watching and making YouTube videos and BookTube videos, because there's like best books of 2020, reading resolutions, all videos that I love making and watching. So the first year I did it, I thought, oh well, I'll take February off. It's a shorter month, and it's just been very, very nice, and it's very nice to sort of chill out. So I'm still going to take February off, and where this was linking in was that I'm going to reassess in February if 3 videos a week is working for me, if I maybe want to go down to 2 videos or up to 4 videos. I don't know if I'll be going up to 4 videos, but like how I want to do it, because David said, oh, why don't you start off doing 2 videos a week, and then when you get to February, if you want to start in March doing 3 videos, then you'll do that. And I was like, I am going to do that. I'm going to do it the other way around. So I'm going to start with 3 videos a week, see how much I can handle it. Because I work full time as well, so it's keeping on top of it all. It's a big old job, this, guys. So yeah, so that's number 1 and 2, is that I'm going to go back to a schedule of Wednesday, Fridays and Sundays, and then I'm going to take February off, and I'm going to assess what's going on in February. So although I'll be taking February off of making videos, I'll still be reviewing the books that I'm reading on Instagram. It just won't be, there won't be a wrap up or a TBR or anything like that. Oh, I wonder if I'll make myself a TBR still. I think I probably still will make myself a TBR. But my Patreon book club will still go ahead. That's the thing that still goes ahead. In February. So then in terms of new videos, I've got a sticker on the back of this notebook, and I really want to pick it off, and I'm going to pick it off now, because otherwise I'm going to keep just fiddling with it and I'll be annoyed. Bear with me. Success! Right, now put that out of the way so you don't fiddle with it. So number 3 is looking at new videos and new content that I'll be bringing to you in 2021. So something I've already thought about making, and I sort of had a little thought about this last year, is I'm going to do maybe some videos looking into why I like or don't like particular genres. And this started off with me saying, I hate romance books, I hate women's contemporary fiction, but then actually having read some romance and women's contemporary fiction last year and having enjoyed it. So I think I'm going to do like a little video where I look at why I like literary fiction, why I like feminist fiction, etc, etc, food fiction, and then I'm going to do videos where I look at why I don't like particular genres, and then I might sort of maybe do some suggestions in there, like I don't like this but I have enjoyed this, or I really like food fiction but I really hated this, and I feel like it will be quite a good series of videos to do. So that's something that I'll be doing throughout the year. Also, I'm going to be sort of using this channel in a non-bookish way, and this isn't new, this has been going on for a long time, sort of like document some personal projects, or like projects that I'm setting myself. So for example, one of the things that I've talked about is how I would like to get really good at making noodles and dumplings, having never made noodles or dumplings before. So I've bought a book. I bought a book called Dumplings and Noodles, and I'm gonna school myself in making dumplings and noodles. So I'll document my very early steps of getting there, and like making recipes from the book, and then maybe as the year go on I'll get a bit better at making like recipes out of my head and things like that, so I thought that would be quite good. David is planning on, I'm spoiling a bit on David's channel. David's doing a similar thing with pizza, which obviously I'm delighted about. Pizza's one of my favourite things. So yeah, so I'm going to be documenting that, and I'll be putting up like first steps and then like as I get better and things. And I enjoy setting myself targets like that, and I think I'm going to enjoy filming and editing that and then watching that back and seeing my progress. Hopefully there is progress. But also, like, I got quite a lot of like crafty bits and stuff over Christmas and for my birthday, which I'd quite like to document, like me doing them. So my friends Ryan and Amy got me an air dry clay set, so I'd quite like to film me doing that, maybe answering some questions and stuff. David got me a paint by numbers, which I'm really excited to do. David's mum and dad got me a vegan cheese making set, so I was thinking these would be quite good things to sort of film and then maybe do Q&As or something while that's going on. So yeah, that I'm excited about. And then the last thing's about Cosy Reading Night. So Cosy Reading Night was a real big love heart to me throughout 2020 because previously I'd done them sort of seasonally and then like a little bonus Christmas one, but they appeared quite a lot throughout 2020 because of lockdown, and I called them Stay at Home Club Cosy Reading Nights, and we had we did them every other week for the first part from like March all the way through to May, or maybe there was a good lot in the first lot. I think I got up to like 7, so it might have been longer than that. I think it was longer than that, so it was every other week. And then when we had the second lockdown in November, we did the Stay at Home Club 2.0. And now, although not in what they are calling an official lockdown, in the UK we've all been put into different tiers. And tier 4, which is the highest you can be, is where I live, and it's basically lockdown conditions. In fact, it's stricter than previous lockdowns because you were able to meet up with a few more people outside, but this is just one-on-one people outside. So yeah, so they will be back, and the first one, so Stay at Home Club 3.0 series starts with the first Stay at Home Club Cosy Reading Night on the 15th of January, and as I said, these happen every other Friday. And what I did, not so much in the second lot because they didn't run for quite as long because we were in and out of lockdown a bit, but I've got a feeling this is going to go on for a long old time, is that I did something slightly different every time. So like sometimes it was a bumper Cosy Reading Night, sometimes it was Cosy Reading Morning, sometimes David vlogged, sometimes we did like a live session either on Instagram or on YouTube, and we're going to kick off that all over again. So the first Stay at Home Club Cosy Reading Night 3.0 will be on the 15th of January, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. GMT, we're still GMT, and that's just going to be a standard Cosy Reading Night. So that's just going to be your 3 hours. I'm going to do a TBR, I'm going to vlog it, active on Instagram and Twitter throughout, and yeah, and then I think the next one, maybe David's going to vlog that, and we're just going to do a few other bits as it goes. So those are my reading and channel resolutions for 2021. What are your reading resolutions? What do you have planned? Are you making many changes from the way you read last year? And yeah, interested to hear it. Love filming these videos and doing things like this. So very interested to hear your thoughts on what you think, how you think I'm going to do with my reading and channel resolutions. And I'll see you all again soon for another BookTube video. Goodbye!